This is for 3.1. So there's a difference between variable cost and fixed cost. So for examples, we're gonna use cars. The fixed costs are gonna be like ones that are like immovable. So for example, like a registration or like a license, you just need like you'll always have that like to get your lease on the car, for example, like that will be a fixed cost. And then like the cost will not change. And then a variable cost will be like the gas or like the brakes or anything like that, because you can have you it doesn't you can get a different amount every time. It just so the pricing will change. The difference between long run and short run are, so long run is when you have no fixed resources, so they are all variables. So this will mean that your size and capacity of your factory, it can change. So there's no fixed resources at all. But for a short run, there has to be at least one fixed resource. And because in short run, your size and capacity of your factory can grow. So cannot change. So there has to be at least one fixed cost. So this can be like your lease or anything like that, and then the rest can be variable, but there has to be at least one fixed cost or resource. MC is the primary factor that that firms use to like set the prices on their things, or use it for products, or it just sets what they need to know to sell their product, or what they need to know to get from their product. So and then an important thing is MC equals MR. Oh, MR. Oopsies. And it's curved the way it is because additional costs is from producing one more unit of output. So output also increases. So the additional cost is from the additional or from producing more output. The average fixed cost is cost for fixed resources that don't change with the amount produced. So this would be like just the equation for this to find this would be just the fixed cost over the quantity. And then for the average variable cost, it would be the opposite. So it would be cost for variable resources that do change as more or less is produced. So then also the equation would be variable cost, just the normal variable cost. To get average, you have to find the variable cost, to find the average of anything, you have to find just the normal, like fixed cost, variable cost, or total cost, or, well, I'll get to that, over quantity. And then to find average total cost, either you can add these all. So this will just like equal everything, or the average variable cost and the average fixed cost, but the average total cost does not equal the variable cost plus the fixed cost. It has to be the average to be the average total cost. The only way that the average fixed cost plus the variable cost can add up to equal, it would be only the total cost, not the average cost. So the total cost is the sum of fixed and variable costs, which you can see here. So then, or a different way you can solve to find this would be the total cost over quantity. So again, you would be taking this part instead of the average. You would just be taking the total cost of it to find your average. So when you have a graph like normal, the MC here and then the MR here, you have a total cost, right? Whatever the total cost may be, or the average total cost. And then if you put in your average variable cost, it'll start out and then it'll start to go together, right? Average variable cost. And then right in here would be your average fixed cost. But the only way you can find out if you should shut down or not is if your prices go beneath your average variable cost. This will mean that you're not making or really like losing any. Well, you are losing money, but you're not making any money, or you're not just like having it all cancel out. You are losing money constantly, and it's better to produce nothing and take the fixed costs as a loss instead of continuing to produce and lose even more money than you started with. So the relationship between MC and ATC is, so MC would be here. ATC, or we'll just put MR, but ATC, the bottom of ATC will always intersect MC every single time. It can be anywhere on it, but always where ATC is at the bottom, it will connect with MC. So that's the relationship between those two. And then the law of diminishing marginal productivity is when every time we add more resources or workers, less can come out of it. So this can be seen of, so the MC can be like this will be the workers, and then this will be the outcome. So as we add more, it slowly like starts just getting to the same, so nothing really changes as we get more people. So it would be more beneficial if we had smaller amounts. Then when we get more, it just evens out into just being the same. Also, when looking at the ATC for economies of scale, so long run average total costs fall because the firm can use cost saving mass production techniques. So which is basically saying getting bigger is cheaper. And then diseconomies of scale is when long run average total costs increase as the firm gets too big and difficult to manage. So having a per unit tax on this graph will make the MC and the ATC shift upwards. So the per unit tax shifts the supply curve upwards by the amount of the tax put on this, causing the equilibrium output to decrease and the price to rise. So this will turn into going here, and your MC will shift upwards, and then your ATC will also shift. Okay. Anyways, and then also ATC always has to be on the bottom of your MC, or the bottom of your ATC has to be connecting with your MC. So just like how I set up there. But so they both would shift, and then the outcome would change. The outcome would make it the outcome is changing because it will be decreasing because you have losses from your equilibrium. Having a lump sum tax, it will make the AVC a little bit bigger. So then that would mean that the FC will just increase too. So it does not affect the firm's output because it only increases fixed costs, which you can see right here, it's increasing since we have a bigger AVC. And and shifting the average total cost curve upwards. But it does not like affect the MR line at all, or sorry, the MC at all. So this just stays. It just stays. So the outcome won't change since that's not changing, but then these are. But it will. But again, it will only affect the the average fixed cost. But again, that's increasing, so that's fine. So a constant cost industry is a market structure where per unit cost of production for firms remains unchanged as the entire industry expands or contrasts. So so the per unit the per unit cost basically remains it remains unchanged. Okay, it remains unchanged. So this is like, this happens because like the industry demand for inputs is just like a very small fraction of like the total supply of inputs. So then the increased competition for them don't raise any of the prices.